I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
But you can see what I believed and what my family believed by looking at our lives. My dad marched with Martin Luther King. My mom was a tireless crusader for civil rights. You may recall that my dad walked out of the Republican convention in 1964 in San Francisco, in part because Barry Goldwater, in his speech, gave my dad the impression that he was someone who was going to be weak on civil rights.
On the eve of the convention, 40,000 people, half of them Negroes, demonstrate against Goldwater in the largest civil rights demonstration since the March on Washington last summer.
I am compelled to urge Negroes and all people of goodwill to vote against him. His election would be a tragedy and certainly suicidal almost for the nation and the world.
I will never vote for a public accommodations clause in any civil rights bill because I think it's unconstitutional. I think it tampers with the rights of assembly, the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the freedom of property.
In my home state, we have very few public places that remain segregated.
So I like mandates.
I have no question that had I voted for that bill, I might have softened some of the Negro opposition to my candidacy, but I'm not foolish enough to think that I would have won over the NAACP. I have to live with myself, and I took an oath to defend and uphold the Constitution.
So I like mandates. I like mandates. I like mandates. I like mandates. So I like mandates. I like mandates.
If we're going to compete as a nation, we've got to draw upon the skills of women and minorities. And I see organizations from the federal government to corporations that are not drawing on the skills and abilities of women and minorities. Public companies and federal agencies should be required to report in their annual 10K the number of minorities and women by income group within the company, so we can identify where the glass ceiling is and break through it. And I think that the market of America will say that company has not promoted women, has not promoted minorities, and will put pressure on American corporations and agencies to respond.
So I like mandates.
Let me remind you also that moderation in the pursuit of justice is no virtue.